Hello everyone and welcome back to this channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how to make a shirt with a collar. So first of all, I folded my fabric into two as usual, and we'll be folding for the back first. So I folded it by the bigger side of the body because it's going to be a long shirt. I folded it by my hips measurement divided by 4 plus allowance, ease allowance, then seam allowance, because it's going to be free. It's not a fitted shirt. So I'm just marking the length of the shirt like so. And when I was done doing that, I'm just going to cut this out. So we'll be cutting the front and the back together. So I also went ahead to fold for the front, and what I have at the back, I added 2.5 inches, which should be for the button allowance for the front. So whatever measurement you folded the back by, you fold for the front also and add about 2.5 or 3 inches for the button allowance. But in my case, I added 2.5 inches for button allowance, which will be at the front bodice. So next I'll be placing my back bodice on my front bodice, starting from the button allowance. So the back will be starting from the front allowance like so. Just place it how I placed it. So next I'll be taking my measurement. First of all, I'll be taking my neck width of 3 inches on the back bodies. Our measurement will be on the back bodies. So the neck depth for the back bodies is 1.5, and the neck depth for the front bodies is 3 inches also. So my shoulder measurement divided by 2, I'm just marking it like so, starting from the back bodies, guys, not the front. So for my shoulder measurement, I came down by 1 inches for my shoulder slope. Then I'm marking my armhole like so from my shoulder slope. So I went up back to take my body measurement. That is my shoulder to my bust, shoulder to my waist, that's my half length, then shoulder to the full length of the shirt. So I'm just connecting my neckline for the back, then I also connect for the front also. So here I'm just extending my armhole measurement. So my armhole divided by 2, I placed it there so I could get a straight row. So guys, don't mind if you can't really see the chalk I'm using on the shirt. So I'm just extending my armhole line and also my shoulder slope from my neck width. So my neck width to my shoulder slope of 1 inch is, I was just connecting it there. So next I'll be imputing my body's measurement. So my bust measurement divided by 4, I marked it on the bust line, and 1 inch is allowance and also 1 inch seam allowance. So what I have on my bust measurement, I also put it on my waist measurement because I don't want the shirt to be fitted or have any kind of shape. So my bust measurement was also on my waist measurement plus 1 inch seam allowance and 1 inch ease allowance. So I'm just marking it like so. Then I'll extend it to the hip allowance. It's just the folded, so there was no other measurements for there because we folded it according to our hip allowance. So I'm just cutting off my neckline for the back first and also for the front. So once I was done cutting my neckline, I'll also go ahead and cut other parts of the bodice. So just watch how I cut it, guys. And I also slashed open my front bodice. So once I was done, I kept the back bodice aside, and here I have the front bodice. Next, we'll be folding our button allowance. So I'll be showing you how to fold your button allowance. So first on that line we have, you just fold about half an inch, then it will meet that button line we have, just like so. So make a stitch all the way down to the end point of the shirt. So I'm just going to notch where my button allowance stops. So you fold half an inch and meet it there. So I'm just illustrating again in case you didn't get it at first. So I notch the upper part of my button allowance and also at the down part. So next you'll be folding about half an inch or less. Then you just place it on that notch I made there, and I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew a straight line down to the end. So I was done sewing on my button allowance, and this is what I have for the right side and also the wrong side of the front bodice of this shirt. So next I'll be picking my back bodice and I'll place it right side facing up. Then I'll place my front bodice, one part of it, to the back bodice, and I'll go over and sew on the shoulder part by about half an inch. So I'll sew both sides half an inch on the shoulder. Then on the sides, I'll be sewing by the seam allowance we left. So whatever seam allowance you left, just sew by that seam allowance down. So guys, I was done sewing on the shoulders and the side seams. So this is what it looks like. Then next we'll be fixing our collar. So to get the measurement of the collar, you're just going to measure the round neck, starting from the button allowance we have there. So you take the measurement all the way around to the other parts of the button allowance, like so. So you just take whatever you have there. That's what will be our neck width for the collar we are making. So next, whatever you have on that neck width, you're just going to fold this collar fabric by 2. So it's folded, then you divide whatever you have by 2, then you mark it. So here I'm marking my collar stand. My collar stand is 1 inch, but I'm adding half inch, which will be for the joining allowance. Then the collar height, I'm using 2 inches, but half inch is also for seam allowance. So I'm just marking that 1.5 inches for my collar stand. Then I'm extending the line like so. So this line I created is the collar stand. Then also the collar height, which is 2 inches plus half inch. So I'm just going to mark it from my collar stand then upward. So I'm just ruling out my collar height like so. So I'm just extending my neck round measurements, which I measured from that shirt, and divided by 2. I'm just extending that line and ruling a straight line like so. So once we're done drawing the collar stand and also the collar height, on the collar stand, I hope you guys know the difference between my collar stand and collar height. So on the collar stand, I'll be going in by half an inch. You can go in by 1 because I later went in by 1. So I'm going in by half an inch for now and extending it up to my collar height. Then on that half an inch you came in by, you just make a curve that will go through your collar stand. So if you don't understand how I do it, just watch how I'm cutting this part out. So that's on my, I'm just going in by half, then like so. So the half inch isn't really visible. That's why I decided to mark extra half inch on my collar stand to like make that curve on the collar really visible. So I'll be extending that half inch to a 1 inch curve. So this is why I decided to make it a 1 inch curve. So I added an extra half inch on the collar stand, then extended it upward to my collar height like so. I'm just extending it up to my collar height. So we're not cutting out of the collar height, so just extending, making a curve, a straight line curve like so. Then also I'll make a curve to the collar stand down. So guys, just watch how I cut it like so. So this is what it looks like. So I went ahead to also cut another piece of it. Then I ironed an interface into one part of the collar. So I'm just placing it together and sewing half an inch on the upper part and on the sides of the collar. So guys, this is what I have. I also went ahead to fold my collar stand down and my collar height. So this is what it is. Just fold and iron it. So this is what the collar looks like. So next I'm just folding it to get the midpoint of the collar, like so. I'm notching it to get the midpoint. Then also I'm going to fold my shirt to get the midpoint, which should be at the back bodice. So just place your shirt like so and try to get the midpoint of it. Then also make a notch with your scissors. So after doing that, I'll be attaching the collar to the shirt from the midpoint we've just got. So I'm just going to place it midpoint to midpoint and just pin it down like so. So we'll be sewing it all the way around. But for now, I'm just going to pin it down. So I'm just pinning it down up to the edge of the button allowance we have. So guys, just watch how I did it. So the way I pinned it, that will be the way I'm going to sew it down. So just take it to your machine and sew all the way to the other part. So I've already sewn one part of the collar to the shirt, and this is what I have. Next, you'll be folding it about half inch, then pinning it down from the midpoint also, guys. So that midpoint will also be on the midpoint on the inner part of the shirt. So you just pin it down by half an inch and sew on the shirt like so. So once I was done pinning, I'll take it to the sewing machine and sew, and making sure this seam I'm making will be hidden between the collar and the shirt. So just watch how I'm going to illustrate it. So we are going to sew, but that seam should go in between that line we have there. So guys, I was done fixing my collar to my shirt, and this is what I have on the inside, which is the wrong side, and also on the outside. So we're really done with this tutorial for today. So what's next is just to fix your sleeve and hem the down part. So guys, if you find this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and like. I'll see you in the next class. Bye.